Hey guys, my name is Rune. Welcome to this first part of a Premiere Pro tutorial series. For the next couple of weeks, I'll go through how to use Premiere Pro as a video editing tool, all the way from starting a new project, all the way to exporting it into a media like YouTube. So if you want to follow along as I release these videos, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Thanks. In this video, I'll show you how to start a new project, talk a bit about the interface, show you how to import content into your project, and finish showing you how to drag your video from your project into your timeline, which should be enough to get you started on doing your own project. So, without further ado, let's jump into Premiere Pro. Let's get started. After you open up Premiere and select New Project, you'll be met with this kind of scary window, but please disregard most of this for this time being. Some of it can be a bit advanced, and for now we just want to learn the basis. So we just want to learn how to get started. For this, I'll actually start editing this tutorial using my raw files. So I'll just call this First Things First. I'm not sure what to call this, but let's start with this. We also need to choose the location of our Premiere project. So I'll just browse down and I'll throw it on the desktop just for now. So I'll use this as my folder for this project and then hit OK. So now we've entered Premiere. We've opened our First Things First project, and we are met with a huge interface. No need to worry. We'll learn how to get started on this. You have the timeline down here. The timeline indicates what will be shown in our program feed. The program feed is showing what is in the timeline, but for now the timeline is your project with all the video in it. So here we have the project window. All of our media will be contained down here. You have a bunch of places to get lost in, but for now just know that from the factory setting of this software, here is where our media is located. We'll get into that in a short bit. The last part of it is our source monitor, effects control, audio clip mixer, stuff like that. As you might know, if you have started Premiere before, there are a bunch of things to do and a bunch of ways to get stuck. No need to worry, we'll get through this. So, the interface. Premiere Pro is a very modular system. So the modular system of Premiere Pro means that everything is customizable. You can simply select, for instance, the project folder and undock the panel, and you're able to drag this around, put it on a separate monitor, stuff like that. You can also close it, and now you have your own personal workspace. In order to go back to the factory setting of this layout, you need to go under Window, Workspaces, and then reset to saved layout. Then you'll come back to the factory setting. You can also drag this and place it at another position. You can also place it over here if you want to. Like, everything is modular and customizable, which a lot of people prefer, but if you're a beginner, it can seem a bit scary. So we'll just go back to the setting, to the factory setting of this. So I'll go to Window, Workspaces, reset to saved layout, and I'm back to where I started. Adobe has set up a couple of different workspaces for you to work in, being, for instance, editing, the color layout, the effects layout, the audio workspace over here. So the thing to note is that all of these different things that are shown in these different workspaces can be called out and put into some of the other workspaces if you want to. These different workspaces are just some suggestions from Adobe that if you're working with audio, you might want to choose if your audio layer is dialogue, music, sound effects, stuff like that. You might want a smaller program monitor, being that when you're doing audio you don't need that much the video feed, you're more interested in the audio feed. But for now we can actually do everything we want in the editing workspace. So I'll continue only using this editing workspace. Moving on, I wanted to just briefly talk to you about folder structure. So I'll minimize this and I'll show you that I actually have a template for categorizing my video clips in between my different devices. If I just open this up, I have subfolders for ambience, for music, for Premiere files, raw material, sound effects, stuff like that. And in my raw material, I have my different devices, my small action cam, my EOS 80D, my wife's phone, my own phone, stuff like that. Being that when I videotape with my different devices, I want this folder structure to also be the same folder structure inside Premiere. Now I've videotaped some stuff using my 80D, so I can see that I've placed a couple of video files in here. If I go into Premiere Pro, when I want to import my media, I just select the folder that's on top, and I simply just click and drag it into my project folder. So now it has imported all of my raw material. So if I just maximize the window here, now we can see that it has imported my EOS 80D and my action cam folders, because those folders had content in them. So now I'm actually quite far. I've started out a new project. I've imported my media first to my template folder, and secondly I've imported all of those folders with their subfolders into my project panel, and they are not now a part of my Premiere project. So now I can actually begin building up my timeline using my my raw media. So if, for instance, I select this media clip, now I can actually play back this video of me talking to the camera. Now it's a bit laggy because I'm also recording this on screen. But I'll choose somewhere. Here I look interesting. I'll choose this as my endpoint, as well as going over to a specific point in the video. It could be here. I'll choose that as my out point. And now I'm able to drag this clip into the timeline. Boom. Now it has created a new sequence using this video from this point of the video to this point of the video. And since I dragged it from the screen over here, it has imported both the video feed as well as the audio feed of this video clip. So now you can see that it's showing in my program, and that means that it's part of my timeline. And I can see this is actually the end result of my video from where this blue line is. And I could just continue on building up my timeline. So this was just a quick tutorial on how to start a new project in Premiere Pro and how to import media into a predefined template folder structure, importing that folder structure with all the media into the project panel, and finishingly how to get that media from the project folder into our timeline, of course. So yeah, thanks. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.